What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Burndown Podcast. I'm Justin, a.k.a. Dapper Cigar. This gentleman across from me is Eric, a.k.a. Brother Cigar.
How you done?
If you're new here, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to be notified every time we drop a new episode.
You said bell and the phone just...
I heard that. Ding.
That was weird.
So today is... there was a special moment if you're... looking to the stars, if you're an astrologist or an astrology fan, there was a solar eclipse.
Ongoing spectator.
There was a big solar eclipse that happened today. Did you catch it?
Yes, on my way over here, everyone was looking outside with the 3D sunglasses, and me per se, I don't really, not like cool. It's 4 minutes of fun. I tend to find when people are all like a group of people are really excited about something, I tend to like shy away from it. Kind of like observe the masses and do the opposite type of mentality.
Exactly.
So I'm like, okay, cool. Like in the how do I say it? In the grand scheme of things, it's a cool thing in the in the world, the galaxy.
Yeah, it's
happening.
Galactic phenomenon.
But like it looks like a moon. So it's like what's the big deal? So yeah, I took a quick peek on my way over. Everyone was like, Eric, you gotta check it out. I said, okay. I put the 3D glasses on. I saw it, but my fucking eyes started to hurt. I was like, ugh.
You're like, ugh.
And my wife's in a school, so they were all at outside doing it. And she's like, I think I'm blind. I'm like, why? And she's like, my eyes hurt. And I go, my eyes hurt too. I'm like, I don't know what the hell's going on with here. And I'm calling Justin, and Justin's, I can't see it, bro. I can't see it. I tried 3D sunglasses. I can't see it, bro.
I didn't see shit, dude. I didn't see shit. So we're here in New York, and apparently, Rochester, New York, was going to get 100% coverage, right? That's the path that it was taking. And down here in Long Island, it said something like 85%. Okay? So here I am. I'm not an astrologist, okay? I don't know about the
science, bitch.
I don't know what the percent with that mean. I think that 85%. I thought it was gonna be a little bit darker outside. I'm thinking 100% coverage of the sun means it's dark, right? Completely blacked out, like you see, in the movies.
Well,
and
on my way here, I saw Texas. It was pitch black. I'm like, how the fuck?
Well, that's what I'm saying, right? So I'm here. I'm thinking 85% means it's gonna be pretty dark out, right? 85% of the sun's gonna be covered. I'm thinking, okay, it's probably gonna be pretty dark and pretty gloomy. It looked like just a cloud went over. Like that was it.
Underestimate the sun's illuminity power.
I didn't see shit.
Power.
And on top of that, the sun was so freaking tiny you couldn't see anything. But listen,
if you like
what I didn't like is the commercialization of the whole fucking thing.
Us as conspiracy theorists, what are they really hiding behind this?
No, but do you get what I'm saying? They commercialize. They find a way to make money off of everything.
Well, I know. They're like, well, you have to don't drive on the roads. Don't look directly in the sun. You have to end school early. I'm like, is this the first time ever we're having an eclipse? Or
dude,
it's like, you
how
can't handle it?
How about the freaking earthquake we just had?
Oh no, that was sick.
Talk about commercialization. An hour later, there was T-shirts already made. I survived the New York earthquake.
Capitalism at its finest, kid.
Dude, are you kidding me? Like, just let it fucking happen, okay?
Come on, you love capitalism. You gotta respect it.
I get it, but there's certain things that should just be like you should just let it be, like nature, okay?
Well,
when we capitalize,
someone else is gonna do it. So
when we capitalize or commercialize nature, I think that's a problem. Like for instance, you have to pay to go into to go see the Adirondack State Park. You have to pay to go see the Grand Canyon. I have to pay to go see like Niagara Falls. Like I have to pay to watch. Like just let
Justin doesn't like to pay.
Like, but certain things I get it, but just like you have to pay to go see the Redwood Forest. Like, no, just it's a beautiful piece of nature. Just let people enjoy it. Like, why do you have to try to commercialize and make money off of everything?
Where were you when the earth was shaking?
I didn't feel it.
Really?
I was in the car. I didn't feel it. I was driving back from the airport, and he was like, was that an earthquake? And I was like, I was on a BQE. It was already an earthquake, okay?
BQE. If there's any place you could feel an earthquake, it's definitely the BQE.
Dude, I was
in Brooklyn.
I felt the aftershock, though.
I felt the aftershock, too. I was in Brooklyn, and the office building I was in, they had 2 floors. So, and the office was right next. It was like, what was it? It was on 3rd Avenue in Brooklyn, and it was almost parallel to the highway. But I thought it was the train tracks. So we're in the middle of a meeting like this. I'm facing you talking. All of a sudden, the thing starts rumbling. But you're so used to it with being around trains because the whole building shakes. So I'm like, okay. I'm like,
another train.
And then I was meeting a contractor, and his face, he just stopped talking, and his face dropped, and I'm like, all right, that's weird. Why is he getting so?
What was that?
And he's like, this is an earthquake. I'm like, no, it's a train. He goes, no, that's the highway. I'm like, oh, there's cars there. And he's like, this is an earthquake, and it's still going, and it's going, and it's going.
How long did it last?
Bro, it lasted like 30 seconds, maybe 40
Really?
seconds. It was fucking pretty nuts. And this was a new business meeting, a first meeting. So we all met each other. It's 4 of us in a room, all meeting each other. So it's like we're all like kind of looking at each other like, do we start freaking out? Like, do we go underneath the table? Like, what do we do? And we're just like,
I heard you're supposed to go to a door frame, right? But what I would think is, like they always say when you're in school, like if there's an earthquake, get under a table or go to like a door frame, right? I would just get out the fucking house. Like, why not leave the house? Like, if the house is going to crumble and fall down.
House, yeah, but if you're in a school, there's a bunch of people barging out at once. You're more likely to get hurt when everyone's being a sergeant.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Maybe that's the reason.
But if you're like in a house or if in a building with just a couple of people, then yeah, get the fuck out. So we're all just like looking at each other like, what's going on? And we kind of just like making light of it. And then it stopped. And then all of a sudden, all of our phones started blowing up. Bing, 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 bing.
I didn't get anything on my phone. I got nothing, man. I felt like I was the oddball.
No,
I didn't get nothing.
I was in a room with 4 people. All of our phones were text messages, phone calls.
Nothing.
And we were on a phone. So we had 4 people in the conference room. And then we had a person on from Pennsylvania and a person on from Maryland. And we're like, we just had an earthquake in Brooklyn. And the guy in Pennsylvania was like, yeah, I just felt it too. And I was like, damn. And the girl Marilyn was like, no, I didn't feel anything. And I was like, that's fucking crazy. Then later that day, I'm back.
Aftershock.
I'm back home. I'm on the couch. It's like 4:30.
That's when I felt it. Yeah.
I'm like, oh man, I'm fucking relaxed. And then we're just sitting on the couch watching TV, and it just starts rumbling again. I'm like, oh shit, I think we're having an aftershock right now.
Yeah. It's funny because I was on the way home. I dropped my sister off the airport, and I'm on the way home, and it's like I'm in the car, and there's traffic or whatever, and all of a sudden my phone starts blowing up, and it's like bing, bing, bing. That's an earthquake. Or no, my wife called me. She goes, where are you? I said, I'm in the car. She goes, so I'm at my client's house, and all of a sudden the house just started shaking, and we looked at each other like, what the hell was that? And I think we just had an earthquake. I'm like, the fuck out of here. We didn't have an earthquake. We're in Long Island. She's like, no, I think we had seriously an earthquake. I was like, well, I'm in a car. I didn't feel anything. Okay.
One person. Oh, God. Sorry.
So then my phone starts blowing up. The family chat, the Matadors chat, everybody, earthquake. I'm like, what fucking earthquake? I was like, I'm in the car. I didn't feel nothing.
That's crazy.
So I get home. Apparently there was a 4.8.
3.8.
No, it was a 4.8 in Jersey.
Oh, 4.8 in Jersey.
And then the aftershock was like a 3.8 or whatever. But they said that it's centered in Jersey.
Yeah.
A 4.8 in Jersey.
Well, I think it was a 3.8 in New York then.
Okay, so then in New York. But I sat down on the bed and I found an hour later, so I got the aftershock. But I found it funny because everybody's like freaking out. Oh my God, the house is shaking.
Well, if it's over a 5, then I think you need to be worried. But if it's under a 5, you should be okay.
So I Google it because I'm like, all right, what do I know about earthquakes? I was like, the only thing I really know is like, okay, it's the Richter scale, right? But isn't it the tectonic plate shifting? Well, yeah. So it's the tectonic plates of the Earth, where they join. It's tectonic plates either shifting or slipping.
Yeah.
And then that causes the ground to shake. Okay. And then there's the seismic waves, which are basically like vibration waves, cause the ground to shake, whatever. And there's major fault lines, right? Like major ones, and then there's smaller ones. Like the one in Jersey, I think it's called the Ramapo fault line, which is where there's like cracks in the
Ramapo
in the tectonic plates, right? And they can rub against each other. So, but what I'm looking up, I'm like, all right, 4.8. I was like, okay, I don't even know what is that in relation, because I know that they just had one in Asia. They had like a 7 point something in Asia because we had a bunch of emails coming through like, hey, are your factories affected? Like, how's the product and stuff? I was like, no, we're fine. Nothing serious happened.
How's my money?
So I was looking into it. So they do it on the Richter scale, right? Which is a logarithmic scale, meaning it's when you go from a 1 to a 2, it's 10 times stronger. And then a 2 to a 3 is 10 times stronger. 3 to a 4, 10 so it's 10 times stronger every single level you go up.
Yeah.
So if you go from a 1 to a 4, it's 1,000 times stronger. 10 times 10 times 10. So I'm like, okay, so we felt 4.8. Everybody's freaking the fuck out. Blah, 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 right? So about a 5. Said now go to a 7 point something.
Yeah, that's huge.
Which is 100 times worse than what we had here. And I'm like, imagine what it's like over there. You know, that's something to freak out when buildings are falling down and cracks are opening up in the earth. Like that's that you might be worried about. But here, a couple picture frames fell off the wall. Relax. I think you're gonna survive.
I just wanted to see how much it was.
It was 4.8 in Jersey. That's what they said. And I think the highest one they felt here was 5.2 was the highest one in the area in New York.
I know.
Anyway,
I knew New York. I knew in New York it was 3.8. But anyways, someone texted me and was like, "I don't think that was an earthquake. I think that was blah blah blah." I was like, "That's an earthquake, or there's a fucking nuke coming and we're all gonna die." Like, there's no other explanation. It's an earthquake or a fucking nuke bomb. Like,
I just found it funny that it kind of reminds me of like whenever you're in certain areas and you're just used to certain things happening. In other areas that aren't used to that, they go nuts, right?
Dude,
like
it
for
felt
instance,
legit like you're in a building and you're next to the train tracks,
right?
And it's a huge train going 150 miles an hour, and it's just
and
you're like,
shakes the whole house.
okay, whatever, and then you're it.
Like perfect example here in the Northeast, snow is no big deal to us. We are like, especially upstate New York or in the New England area, you get feet of snow every single year, right? Like when I was in college, we were getting feet just pounded with feet of snow. You go down south, they get like an inch of snow. That's it. Close the schools. That's it. We're done.
Well,
I had to walk through 3 feet of snow. Okay.
When I lived in Atlanta for a little bit, it was like I moved there in February, and they were getting reports of snow, and they had a little bit of snow. When I say a little bit, like less than an inch, and like in the woods area of Georgia, there wasn't even any. And I was in Atlanta. There was no snow in Atlanta. And it was like 1 o'clock, and they're like, "All right, everybody, we're gonna go home early due to the snow." And I'm looking outside. I'm like, "There is no snow.
There's nothing."
So we were like 25 or something. We're like, "All right, let's go to the bar." And we just went to the bar and just had a good time. But yeah, certain places are like crazy.
I mean, on the flip side too, here in New York, we don't really get some serious heat, right? Like for instance, in Texas, okay. From
my bad, we're shooting this episode because we're getting ready for Jonas Santana to come from Blackbird Cigars.
Yes.
He's our guest today, but we wanted to shoot a little quick podcast. So we just texted me saying he just picked up the car in LaGuardia, and it says it's about 53 minutes from LaGuardia to here, so it should be another hour. So hopefully by 6 o'clock, fingers crossed.
So I was saying is like in Texas, from July and August, every single year, July and August, it's like 100 degrees every day, right? 2 months out of the year, they're 2 summer months, it's like 100 degrees every single day. Dry, 100 degrees. Up here in New York, you get something that's like over 100 degrees, we're like, holy shit. It's
holy hell.
We're like, gosh. So now, granted, it's a little bit more humid, but we're like, oh my God. Meanwhile, they're like, fuck, we get this all the time. Like, this ain't hot. Yeah. Or you come up here, as soon as it hits like 85, 90, you're like, oh my God, it's hot. Meanwhile, Texans come up here, they're in jeans and a sweatshirt. Like, it's not hot.
Is Texas hot dry like Arizona?
Arizona, I think, is the worst hot. I think Arizona is the worst.
No, I mean, when we went to Arizona, I would take 100 degrees dry in Arizona than 80 degrees and humid here.
Oh yeah, but listen, 100 degrees. I don't care where it is. 100 degrees is hot. Like,
yeah,
I don't care if it's dry. People like you could say, okay, dry is better than humid. I don't care. 100's fucking hot.
It does make a difference though. The humidity definitely does make the difference.
Yeah, but 100's still hot, dude.
I'm just
like,
saying.
I'd rather go outside in 100 or go outside in 85. You're sweating both days.
I'd still rather.
I'm still sweating.
I'd rather the hot. I'd rather the hot dry.
But like, for instance, I go down in Texas and it'll be 90 degrees, and I mean 90 degrees in the summer or 90 degrees in the spring or whatever, and they're just wearing jeans and like a long sleeve flannel, and I'm like, I'm in shorts and a tank. Like,
yeah, you kidding me?
You crazy?
Cowboy boots, cowboy hat.
But then vice versa, you come up here and it'll be
60 degrees.
It'll be 60 degrees, and they're in like a sweatshirt, and I'm like, dude, this is
shorts. The windows are going down. What I'm saying? Like, yeah. Sunroof down.
So it's kind of like where you're accustomed to living, you become familiar with the.
Bro, I feel like it's been a while since we did a solo podcast.
Right.
Well, this week's a big week for us. We got Jonas Santana coming on the podcast. From Blackbird Cigars, he makes the Blueprint cigar and our next cigar that should be released in the summer.
Yeah, I was kind of a little bit bummed about that because I was hoping that it was going to be released earlier than that, but we have to make sure
just in time for the summer, baby.
Yeah, we got to make sure.
I'm gonna have a baby, and I'm gonna have a new cigar.
That's right.
I'm gonna put a cigar right in her mouth.
Yeah, got to start them young, man.
Yeah,
got to start them young, baby.
All the people are probably having a heart attack listening and watching this. Don't put a cigar.
Don't you dare.
You deserve to be in jail. But we got a couple cool events up this week. We have the cigar networking event that we love to do up in Mamaroneck.
It's gonna be the biggest one yet.
Well, we actually have 2 in Mamaroneck. Coincidentally, we have one at 25 North, which is an Italian restaurant on the.
It's Modern on the Rails.
What did I say?
25 North.
Sorry, 25 North is an Italian restaurant in Mamaroneck.
Oh, I was like,
where Tony has his networking events there as well.
Yeah.
So Modern on the Rails, I'm sorry, is where we have the cigar networking event for the last few months. And then on Friday we have at the Mamaroneck Beach and Yacht Club. It's the charity event that is hosted by
yachty.
What was it? The police and the fire department of Mamaroneck, and it's a March of Dimes, so it's a big poker event, big party. So we're gonna be the cigar guys there, so that should be fun. But it's kind of nice just to have mano a mano in the studio. It's been a minute. We cleaned it up. We had some time. We cleaned it up and organized it. It looks very nice and clean. Feels good.
Feels good. Yeah, it's been a while since we have one of these like shooting the shit episodes.
Yeah.
But no, let's go. So those are a couple things. We had the earthquake. We had the solar eclipse.
And another reason why we're shooting this episode is because we're looking to alleviate some responsibilities of Eric and Justin on the burn down. So
yes.
We got a cold email. We get emails all the time for people who want to edit social media clips for us, who want to edit podcasts for us, and we actually looked into it at one point on Fiverr, and we were looking into it, and then we just forgot about it. And then someone, I won't name him yet because he's not working for us yet, but a listener of the podcast and was like,
shot a shot, man.
He shot us a cold email.
Shoot a shoot, baby.
And he's like, hey, I started my own cigar YouTube channel. I get a lot of inspiration from you guys. I listen to you guys. I started to do some editing on the side, and if you want to give me a shot, I'll give you a free episode and a free clip out of it. And I was like, hey man, right place, right time. Let's talk. And he's in another country. He's in
Macedonia.
Macedonia, which is sick. So maybe it'll work out.
Eastern Europe.
I hope it works out because if we can alleviate the responsibility of editing, that's just great. You know?
And then if we can alleviate the responsibility of editing, who knows? We might have maybe some behind the scenes or extra content available. One of the things we talk about with Francis is perhaps doing like a Patreon where some avid fans and listeners. I mean, we also have the membership, so we might tie that into the membership. Like if you are a member of our website, then you have access to our Patreon.
Yeah. We could talk. We could do like maybe 15, 20-minute episodes of stuff that we really want to talk about.
Just like extra content, and maybe we'll do something where it's okay. The website will have two different tiers. You can do the $5 one, which is you just get entered into our monthly giveaway, which is essentially we give away, merchandise. You can win blueprints. You can win some merchandise, ashtrays, cutters. Like we have all the stuff, T-shirts, hats, and stuff. We kind of give it away every single month. Everybody has a chance to win some stuff. And then maybe we have a second tier where it's $10, where you get the giveaway, but then you also get access to the Patreon.
Yeah, I was thinking like we find a topic that we want to talk about it for like 10 minutes and just like post it about whatever. So.
And maybe you get some access to like some vlogs, like where we do these events and we'll do like a vlog of the event on the way to the event, setting up. We
gotta hire somebody to do that.
Kind of some like we just take one of these things and just attach a
stand,
a microphone to it.
Yeah, true.
Attach one of the microphones, and do like a little video vlog.
And the other thing I wanted to
that would be another way to get some extra content.
Come on, content is king, kid. I also wanted to give because we talk about it all the time. About we always talk about like being a cigar podcast, being in the top realm, kind of trying to get notified. And we look on Google. We're not really up on the top front. We're like been doing it for 5 years. So
I think we are though.
We are, but last time we talked about it was years ago. So we haven't really talked about it.
We're like the biggest podcast that Google doesn't know about.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. The biggest podcast Google doesn't know about. But I want to give a shout out to the Toro Cigar Company podcast. Someone DM'd me this morning. Was like, hey, I listened to this podcast, the Toro Cigar Company podcast, and they shouted you guys out.
Do you want to play it
in a positive way? And
here, hook the Bluetooth up.
Oh, okay, I'll do that. And it felt nice because usually when you talk about cigar podcasts, you hear like Cigar Authority. Who else? You have like the Ash Holes.
Yeah, which no
shade,
knock
no
on them.
disrespect. They're all good. But sometimes we want to hear our name, And
so hook it up. It's the True Mix or something like that, right?
These guys were talking about the actual cigar community and how you get involved. One way getting involved in the what's it called? It's like True Mix 800.
Yeah, True Mix 800.
They were talking about one way to get involved in the cigar community is through social media, And there's a lot of, I think he said there's about 100 active cigar podcasts out there, and there's a lot of good ones. Some of them that I mentioned. But like I said, you usually hear like Cigar Authority first because they've been around forever. We were actually mentioned first before Cigar Authority, so that felt nice. But here, we'll play the quick clip. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I'll raise the volume up.
Let me find here. So this is the guys at the Toro Cigar Company podcast. This is going to play. Let's see.
Phenomenal way to start, and there's so many good podcasts out there, guys. If you're watching this one, we greatly appreciate it, your love and support for this podcast. But there are some really good podcasts out there. There's well over 100 cigar podcasts in the world that are actively running right now. So you should be able to find somebody you can connect with, you can relate to, and get some education and learn a little bit more about the product that you enjoy.
Right. Let's throw out a few. Like there's the Burn Down.
The Burn Down podcast.
Bam, baby.
Cigar Authority.
Cigar Authority.
Shout out right off the bat.
Shout out to
like
the boys
that.
at Toro Cigar Company. I was cool. So
Just like that.
that was cool. So thank you for the person who DM'd me that. I forgot who it was. I apologize. But
I like that.
you know, we already feel it and already know it, but it's good to see other people. And you know what? It was what I looked at it as. It looks like a more of a newer podcast. So to me, I kind of like it more. That's not a really big podcast because we're intertwined into the smaller cigar communities.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? I don't know.
I get you because it's like it's along the lines of when you have the very famous podcasts, they all kind of know each other.
Yeah.
Right? But then when you're recognized by some of the smaller ones, it's like, all right, no, I'm not like you're...
Because we look up to the bigger ones, right? Like the Burn Down looks up to the bigger ones because they've been around for more, and these guys, quote unquote, look up more to us because like they're where we are like 5 years ago.
And I wish them all to see if that's how they started. I mean,
well, they have a good episode.
That's incredible because look at where we started with the shit.
Yeah.
It looked like trash, but they look like they're starting pretty good.
They got a good setup, but they talked about something that we always obviously emphasize is cigar community and how it's very special and very niche and very unique. And it was cool. It was cool just to see that. I like when people message me every once in a while.
Yeah, I like that.
You know. So, anyways, we're smoking the new cigar. It's fucking fantastic. Can't wait for you guys to try it.
We've been saying that so long. I'm just like, I want it to be fucking released.
You gotta build it up. You gotta build it up. I'm sorry, people.
I want it to be released. I'm hoping that that when Jonas shows up, I'm kind of like in the back of my mind, I'm secretly, I hope he brings like the box so we can look at the box.
That would be dope.
You know, because we haven't seen the box yet.
No.
We haven't seen the label yet. I mean, we've seen it, but we haven't physically touched it. We've just seen the digital image of it. We saw the NFT of it.
I just can't wait. I told you this last week. I can't wait to have the blueprint in one hand and the other cigar on the other hand, and well make a video. And it's like, just the two of us. We can.
You know what's going to be crazy, too? It's like pretty soon. Okay, this is going to be released in June. Towards the end of the year, like this thing, we're going to have to start looking at the next one.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? Like, cause it's people every time we go to events and we love this. People are like, what's next? What's more? I want more. Like they're
I want more.
And I love it because it's like we want to give you more. That's the whole idea is to keep people wanting more and they want more content. They want more events. They want more cigars. So when we get out the next one, the people are gonna love it, and then we'll start thinking about okay. Maybe towards the end of next year, we get the next one out, you know, and it's next thing you know, we're going to have then different sizes. And it's like, there's a lot that's,
I was thinking about it before and I wanted
going to snowball. And
I wanted to talk to you about it since we're on the podcast. It's the perfect place to talk about it.
Come on, talk to me.
But like, you know, we don't necessarily have we do, but we don't really talk about it. Like, you know, you have AJ Fernandez and you have all the different lines of cigars. You have Padron and all lines of cigars. We just have the blueprint. But now we have our second cigar. Now we're starting to build up a line. So now
exactly.
I was going to start to say, people are like, oh, who makes your cigars or what's your cigar company? I was just going to start saying, you know, BDP Cigars. What's that? Burn Down
Podcast Cigars.
So it's like, oh, what's your cigar company? Oh, BDP Cigars. Oh, what does that mean? And then
BDP.
It's just
that's like the cigar brand. It's BDP.
Yeah, BDP Cigars, and then they have the line, the blueprint, the this, the that, the that, the that. That's what I thought.
And then it's like burn. And what is BDP? Oh, it's Burn Down Podcast.
And then it goes into the podcast aspect of it.
But the podcast stuff.
I just thought, you know, it's cool to be Because I say, yeah,
everything comes full circle. Everything's coming, and then the third cigar is going to start with the P, and it's BDP. We have the sample pack. We have more, and next thing you know, like this time or towards the end of next year, we could have 3 cigars with 3 sizes of each. Now you're not a one-off cigar, and we had talked about this. Is we don't want to be. There's a lot of brands that come out that just put their name on something, and it's one cigar and done, right? And they're just. That's it. It's a one and done. It's a one-hit wonder, right? Just like a band that comes out and they have this one single and that's it. You don't hear anything about it. They're not an artist that's creating all this music. We don't want to be that. We want to be a brand that, okay, the one aspect is the podcast, which is what we're doing, but the other aspect is cigars, and it's a cigar brand with multiple blends and multiple sizes. That is not where you go into a shop and you just see one stick. You go into a shop and you see a line of cigars. That's what ultimately we want to get to, and that's why this next cigar coming out is the start of that, moving into more than one blend.
Yeah.
Then you have the third, and then the sizes, and
yeah.
And actually, like, okay, so what sizes do you think? Because I've always said we want to go up and down, right? We want to go up a size, go a little bit bigger, like a 6x60, or 6x60 is pretty common now.
But who told us to do a 6x60? Because that's a very popular.
People are saying it's a very popular size. I don't want to go any bigger than that.
No.
Do you think a 6x60 is a good size?
Who was telling us that?
I think it's Matadors.
Oh, that's right. It was Matadors. Yes.
And then a size down. What size down would you want to go?
Well, we have a Robusto Gordo, so
like you go down into like I almost thought maybe a unique size, because you don't want it. You want it to be more of a shorter, like half-hour kind of stick,
like a Corona, or like
like a Corona. But do you want to make it like your own? Like, okay, what's like a typical Corona size? What is that?
Like a 4.5?
Let's see, Corona size. Oops, Corona size cigar. Let's see. Go. Here you go. Oh, here's this cigar. It's an image. Hold on, let it pull up here. All right, so this is. Oh shit! Why does it do that? Oh, here we go. So a Corona is a petite Corona. Says 5x42. Regular Corona is
5x42. Okay.
So a petite Corona is 5x42, or like a petite Robusto is 4x50.
I see. I think I would like that. I think that's what I would like, a 4x50.
Or I would say like a 4x48.
Because this is a what? Ours is a 5.5 by.
No, a 5x54.
5x54. Yes.
I was thinking like you do like a 4.5 by 48, or you do like a 4x48, and the size you just call it a 448.
Hot.
You know what I'm saying? A 448. Like, what size is that? Oh, it's our 448.
Yeah.
You know, we have the Robusto Gordo, and then you can even make it like you can call it a petite Robusto, if you wanted to, or you just call it the 448. And it's like a half-hour smoke.
Yeah.
Because I think of it like this: you have this smoke, right? The 5x54, which the Connecticut burns a little bit faster than the Blueprint. But it's like an hour and a half. Hour and a half, kind of depends. And it can even go 2 hours if you're really talking. And when you go up in a size, the 6x60 is going to be a long stick, 2 hours.
Yeah.
Okay, that's like you're going to light it on the golf course and it's going to last you the whole round, or the whole front nine. But the smaller one, you want it to be quick. Like a half-hour stick where people said, okay, I can go out on a walk the dog.
My lunch break.
Like a dog walker stick, or a lunch break stick, or a winter stick, where I'm just going to go out, have a quick one, come back in. So it's like a half hour. So you don't want to make it too. It's like a 4.5 by 48 is like a unique.
Yeah, I like that.
You know?
I like that a lot.
Because then you have a 4.5 by 48. Then you go to like or a 4 by 48, a 5 by 54, and then, dude, listen to this: 4 by 48.
Okay.
5 by 54 is 1 inch up, and six levels up of the ring gauge. 48 to 54 is 6 points. Goal points. So you're 1 inch up, 6 points up. Then you go to a 6 by 60 is 1 inch up, 6 points up.
I like that math.
So it's the same difference between everything. You go from 5 to 54, you want to go up a level, it's up 1 inch and you go from a 54 to a 60, or you go down a level, down an inch, 54 to 48.
Keep that in your elephant brain.
There you go.
Well, I guess we can document this because it's recorded, but I like that idea.
Because then it's like an equivalent step either direction.
Hell yeah, brother.
I like that.
Hell yeah, brother. It kind of feels weird. I don't feel like I haven't been used to talking to you one-on-one in a podcast in a while.
I like it though, dude.
No, it's great.
I like it.
It's great.
We're at about 30 minutes right now.
Perfect. That's what we wanted.
Exactly. Do we just end it here? I mean, he's going to be here when?
He's going to be probably around 6 o'clock.
So do we end it here? We'll bring that in and pack it up for the thing tomorrow?
Yeah, we can start getting that situated and call it a day.
All
so, ladies and gents, thanks for listening and hanging out this quick episode of the Burn Down Podcast. I'm Eric, Brother Cigar. Gentleman across is Justin, Dapper Cigar. If you like this episode, please hit the like button, the subscribe button, and also hit that bell so you get notified when we drop a new video, new episode. And become a member on the podcast, burndownpodcast.com, $5 a month, exclusive discounts to the Blueprint. And you get entered into a monthly giveaway. We give away blueprints and some accessories every single month. It's been great. If we have a little more time, and by getting off this editing kick and giving it to somebody else, we might be able to bump up these giveaways. So we appreciate you guys hanging out with us week by week for an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours every single time. And thank you for supporting the Blueprint. And Justin, that's a cool video. I wish my face was in it. But
That's sick.
Until the next one, we love you guys. Friends, family, cheers. Chin chin, salud.